I had gotten a call saying I got the job offer. And I just remember like being like, oh my gosh, like I got a promotion, but I got a job offer. I don't know what to do. Oh my gosh. I was just like caught in the middle, like, do I take the promotion closer to home, or do I go downtown where I've always wanted to go and do residential design like I had trying to do? What is up, you guys, and welcome back to another video with your girl. We're just gonna dive right into this week's video because I hope it's not too long for you guys. I know it's gonna be a little bit lengthy, but I decided to really kind of talk about my commercial experience in the interior design industry and really get deep into it and kind of show you guys what it's like. So if you ever wondered what it's like to work in the industry commercial side, then stay tuned because I'm about to spill everything. I'm going to tell you guys about the company and what kind of design work I did, the good and the bad, because you know this is a real life experience. Not everything is dandelions and roses, so I'm going to tell you guys some of the cons, and just to summarize it up, I'm going to tell you about my overall experience. Oh, by the way, I created this really cute slideshow for you guys to follow because I took a lot of pictures during my time at these jobs, and this is great to give you guys visuals and kind of follow along with my journey. So let's get started. I have had 3 commercial jobs my whole entire lifespan, and I'm going to start from the very beginning to up until recent. The first commercial job, I'm not going to get too deep into this because it was only 3 weeks. I had worked for Sears Holding Corporation and I was a retail space planner there. I got hired through a recruiter, so it was a contract job, not permanent, and all I really did was space plan and use a program called JDA. That's what I basically did, and I got a call 3 weeks later from a recruiter saying I was being let go because there was no work coming in. And it was true, because there would be days I would just come in and just chit chat with my coworkers because there was nothing for us to do. So that's just a very short synopsis of that little work experience. After I got let go, a week later I landed an interview with this company, and I went to the interview. It was very long and I got hired on the spot. It was kind of like a medium large size company, and they were a furniture manufacturer, so they made and produced chairs, booths, tables, divider walls, custom furniture pieces, because they supplied to a lot of fast food restaurants. This was an hour drive commute for me, but at the time I was just willing to drive anywhere because I really needed a job and get some experience. It was a regular 8 to 5 job with 1 hour lunch break. So that's just like a little brief summary about the company. I mostly worked on a lot of fast food chain restaurants, so Burger King, Popeyes, Hardee's, Carl's Jr., Blake's Lotta Burgers, some Taco Bells, military bases, but only the dining facility. So that's what I mostly worked on during my whole time there. Now, in case you're wondering, I did not design these from scratch. These fast food chain restaurants already had set designs and guidelines for us to follow, so there was just a lot of space planning. And I also had to make sure it was ADA compliant because this is a public space and we needed to make sure that there was, you know, room for a person with wheelchair or handicap to maneuver around. They wanted it to be done very quick, so there were very tight deadlines and turnaround rates for us to get it done. Now, for the majority of these fast food designs, we had to send this to corporate for approval before we could send it to the client. So once we had completed the design package, we would send it to corporate. They would review it, make any red lines if needed, and they would send it back to us, and we would have to revise it based on what they said and then send it back. So it was this whole process, and once it was approved, I think I sent it to the sales manager and the sales manager sent it to the client. So there was not so much client communication because the sales managers were in charge of talking to the clients. Now, there were some projects where I was able to be more creative and, you know, get to design it myself the way that I wanted it, and those were colleges and universities. So I was able to pick the furniture, the laminates, the fabrics that I wanted to. I worked very closely with the sales manager again because they were the ones that talked to the client. Sometimes I would do physical color boards, which I was always so excited to work on because this is something I did in college. So to be able to do this in the real world, I was like, oh, I get to do something I did in college. So, you know, it was exciting. A lot of AutoCAD was being used for the first 2 to 3 years of my time there, and then transitioned full-blown into Revit. I think Revit was like very exciting to learn, and just seeing the whole design in 3D was very exciting. Overall, those are the kind of design projects I worked on, mostly a lot of fast food chain designs and occasional universities and schools. Now we're gonna move on to the good part of this experience. Starting with, most of the people in that company were really cool, and I got to bond with them and be really chill with them. It also felt good to know that my designs were in public spaces like colleges and some of the fast food restaurants. Another thing is that with it being kind of like a medium large size company came company holiday parties, so that was always fun, and I looked forward to it every year because we got to be all dressed up and be glammed and go to this country club and, you know, socialize with coworkers outside of the workplace. It was very interesting. There were Halloween contests every year, and I always looked forward to that because some people would get hella creative, so that was always fun. There was fitness events, and you know, they would have these personal trainers come in, do these challenges and whatnot. And we also had a company 5K that I think only 5 of us showed up, but it was still fun. I got to travel, so I got to go to Philly to design my first college, New York for another potential college design, and California for a meeting for one of these fast food chain restaurants. And I also got to go to NeoCon every year that I was there. There was also the potential to get bonuses and pay raises every year, and I was able to get promoted 2 times during my whole time there. Alright, so we're gonna get to the juicy part now, and we're gonna get to the bad. I'm gonna start with work drama because I feel like it's inevitable. There's always going to be work drama. There's always going to be someone that doesn't like you or you don't like, and that rude person. So there was work drama that existed. That's all I'm going to say about it. The second thing is that some of these fast food chain corporate people were kind of a nightmare to work with. As I kind of mentioned to you guys before, we had to send our drawings to corporate people for them to review, and 99.9% of the time they would just come back and redline the shit of our drawings because I just had a feeling they did not like us. It didn't really make the experience very pleasurable, so that's what I got to say about that. The third thing is that with me just mostly working a lot of fast food chain restaurants, it required a lot of space planning. So I mean, it was great to know that I was working on, you know, these big well-known brands, but at the same time it just felt really redundant to just keep space planning all the time and not being able to be as creative as I want. So if I designed a university or college and it actually went through, I wasn't able to really see it come to life, or I would design it and then just never hear from it again. And lastly, it wasn't very flexible, so there was no work from home days. If something happened or you had an emergency, you kind of had to use your PTO days. Overall, I was there for 4 years and then I quit. I quit to pursue other opportunities because I was getting a little tired of just doing restaurant design. I really wanted to kind of venture out and get my feet wet in other areas of design like commercial or residential, and also the drive was getting a little too much. I was spending so much money on tolls and gas every day. 100 miles a day kind of adds up, and it's not good for your car, and it's not good for your bank. And now we're going to move on to the third company that I left this one for. This was a pretty kind of small company, but medium. It was like a medium-sized company. It was an office furniture store, so they sold a lot of new and used office furniture pieces to anyone who walked into the warehouse and the store. It was located outside Chicago, so it was still about an hour drive from work, but it was shorter in mileage, so I was not driving 100 miles a day. I designed offices and sometimes space plan. Occasionally clients would request these renderings, so I was able to do these renderings and create these packages for them. And sometimes I would help with this elevator design. Now this is an elevator that we had to take up to the second floor to the office. So the boss wanted it to always look really cool and inviting for, you know, big clients that come in and be impressed by it. And I started to do this towards the end of my time there, and that was something I had fun with. Sometimes I would attend site visits with the sales manager to see the space and measure of where the furniture is gonna go. Overall, what I did was just the office design and do quotes and kind of do like these random tasks. So now we're gonna move on to the good part of this company. To be honest, there really isn't much. Some of the people there were really cool and chill, so after hours, once I got used to everybody, they started to invite me out to their outings and, you know, Thirsty Thursdays, so we would go out for drinks and just kind of chit-chat and socialize. There was a lounge room that I was able to go to and just kind of chill during my lunchtime, and they had a ping pong table there that I played sometimes against my coworkers. And then I had also discovered that there was a rooftop to the building, so on bad days, I would go up to the rooftop and just kind of look at the Chicago skyline and just chill there, get some fresh air. And I just remember looking at the skyline and be like, man, like I need to get a job downtown. Like I'm gonna make it there and I'm gonna make my dream come true. And I was able to go to NeoCon and just see, you know, all the new products. So that was nice, you know, just a little out of the office moment. Alright, so now we're gonna move on to the bad. And I would say that there's more bad than good. So starting off with training wasn't the greatest. It kind of sucked, to be honest, because I just remember being 6 months into this job and thinking I still do not know what the fuck I'm doing. It was just very scattered. The training wasn't it just was incomplete, and I just didn't feel like I got all the information that I should have got in the first place. So that was a big con. The second thing is the design manager at the time was super unprofessional, and I don't know why they made her the design manager because, oh man, she was just always cursing. And there was an incident where this sales manager came to talk to her and she just blew up on him and started cursing and saying all these really mean, rude stuff to him. It's like feeling so uncomfortable, and I was remembered feeling so livid that this is happening, and I was just like, you guys are grown adults, you can talk this out, there's no need to yell. I did tell this to the boss about what happened, but you know, nothing really happened about it. She just got a slap on the wrist, and she of course twisted the story to make herself look like the victim. So, you know, that was just like one of the very bad days I had there. The third thing is that, you know, because the training was just so weird, every day I would walk in and I have to wait for work to be assigned to me. So I would just be like, okay, what can I work on next? Okay, I'm done. I hated that. I just wanted to walk in and just get my list of tasks that I need to accomplish, put my headphones in, and just boom, boom, boom. But I had to keep asking what's next. And then lastly, this wasn't the design job that I had imagined it to be. I should have done my research more, but I didn't. So, you know, do your research before you say yes to a company, because this was not at all what I had planned for and envisioned. It was just mostly just random stuff, wasn't much design. The stuff that I was doing just seemed very irrelevant to my design career. Overall, I was there for 8 months. Funny story though, I had actually gotten promoted at this job, and the boss pulled me into his office and he said, Sandra, I'm promoting you. We're going to transfer you to another facility. It's closer to home, and you're gonna actually do some design work. So he knew and he understood. He saw that the training was bad and they had failed me. He said that himself. So he was sending me off, and I was pretty happy to be moving to another facility and be closer to home and actually do design work, because this was kind of like a brother company. His brother owned this part of the company, but it was related anyways. So I was excited to start. It was my last week there, and then during this whole time I was at this job, I had gone to countless amount of interviews. So I had gotten a call saying I got the job offer. And I just remember like being like, oh my gosh, like I got a promotion, but I got a job offer. I don't know what to do. Oh my gosh. I was just like caught in the middle, like, do I take the promotion closer to home, or do I go downtown where I've always wanted to go and do residential design like I had trying to do? So ultimately I chose residential. and I'm going to save that experience for a different video. But yeah, that was my experience at this office furniture company. I was there for 8 months, and then I said deuces. Overall, that was my commercial experience. You know, there were some bad moments, there were some good moments, there was a lot of learning and just kind of figuring out where I wanted to be. It really just takes for you to kind of venture out. Don't be scared to switch jobs. You know, at the end of the day, I'm grateful for these opportunities. It kind of has shaped me to be the person I am today and has taught me some valuable life lessons. Always radiate positive energy, because people are going to see that in you, and they're always going to see you as a positive person, and always cheerful. You don't want to be remembered as the gloomy person. Never leave on a bad note. Even though if you hate your job, never leave saying, fuck you guys. I know you want to do it so bad, but you want to be remembered as a professional person, because you know you are in a professional industry. Be professional about it and just say thank you for the opportunity, you know, because ultimately, aren't you? I know I was. The third thing is make a plan for how long you want to stay at this company. I feel like I kind of overstayed my time at the fast food design job. I wished I had ventured out sooner into the world, but you know, you live and you learn. And lastly, make those money moves, because when you change jobs, you earn more money. You kind of give yourself a raise. So that is all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you already haven't, I would love for you to join the family and hit the subscribe button. And I will catch you guys on the next video. Bye. It's not for me to say you